Now, what do you actually think of Knight's Passage, FTO?
I think the music for it is one of my favorite tracks in the entire game. Although I think it's an amazing piece of music. I don't think it fits in the context of the game. Like they've just seen that the castle's going to explode. They have to escape. I don't think it's quite as, like, oh shit, we're gonna die sounding as it could be. But I still think it's an amazing track.
Not exactly perilous and upbeat enough, do you mean?
Pretty much, yeah.
It's probably just me, but it bears a striking resemblance to Egg Fleet, in my opinion.
It's just you.
It's always just me, isn't it?
Although, speaking of Egg Fleet does appear in the game.
Does it?
In the multiplayer. In the multiplayer uses a lot of previous tracks from different levels, like Egg Fleet, Green Forest from SA2, a bunch of other tracks like that.
I seem to remember one of our viewers on YouTube filling us in on that, because there's no way we're going into multiplayer, to be quite honest.
You know what? Me and Torch played it once, and you know what's really stupid about the multiplayer? No matter what setting you have on it, there's always a timer. So even if it's fight to the death, they give you a 60-second timer.
60 seconds?
Seriously. So like, maybe it's me in the settings, but when me and Torch played for a good 20 minutes, every match we had only lasted 60 seconds. It sounds like a really it plays fine, but it's just that stupid 60-second limit they give you. It's fucking retarded.
From what I've seen, it's kind of like a top-down view, isn't it? When you play.
Yeah. It's not bad. Like it plays like a really dumbed down version of the main game. But I thought it was pretty fun. But yeah, just that stupid time limit.
I would have preferred it if it was dueling, to be honest.
That would have been pretty sweet. What you mean, like fencing on Mario and Sonic at the Olympic Games?
I was actually just about to reference that, yeah.
Nice. Now, what did you think of these sections, Tom?
A bit. What's the word? Give me a word. That's the word.
Of course, these are like the car levels in the previous level.
Oh, what was that? Deep Forest.
Deep Forest, but it's a lot slower.
Yeah.
I was watching a playthrough by a YouTuber called Cyberman65 the other day, and he said that he liked this level, but he felt it went on far too long. What do you think about that, Tom?
Yeah, it's not a bad level, but it seems to be repeating itself after a while.
It is essentially like you have to go through 4 different castles, and it's just like the same thing every time.
You would have thought they'd pay someone to get interesting architecture. It doesn't matter if this is like the 2nd century or anything, get creative.
I liked it. Again, I think the only level I couldn't stand was the level where you got to fight Blaze, I think.
What was that?
I think it's Molten Mine.
That's the one.
Music is amazing for that, but just the level itself was a bit meh to me.
Yeah, you're damn right.
You love Molten Mine, don't you, Tom?
Hey, I made it one of the HellfireComms VG tracks available now only on YouTube.
You shameless plug whore.
Hey, you know what? J Disco Ponies tries to get us to advertise shit for the Sonic Stadium. I'm gonna throw a bit of my thing into the proverbial pie, if you will.
And you wonder why he doesn't ask us to do anything else.
This is the first thing he's asked us to do, mate. Come on, keep up.
Yeah, but he won't ask us to do anything else after this.
True, so, we'll go out in a blaze of glory.
Go on a blaze, fuck you all! Now, in terms of all these, in terms of the different gimmicks of climbing up the walls and stuff, did you find that interesting?
I think it's done in a way that makes sense. It's not there just for the sake of it.
I thought all the kind of level gimmicks, as it were, of Black Knight worked really well. Again, I love this game.
I have no idea how the followers system work. I'm sorry.
I think to get 600, you have to play through the levels a lot of times, from what I've been told.
That makes sense.
It's not really in terms of bad things. That the ranking system and also the item codex isn't really explained what the hell it does.
Yeah.
So, I wish there was. I even read the manual. The manual didn't really help me out either. There, it doesn't really explain it whatsoever.
The manuals have failed me again.
I really like this cutscene. The music track we're listening to now is called "For the Kingdom and Its People" by Howard Drossin. And in a second, to me, it starts to sound like Kingdom Heart music.
By Yoko Shimura.
Yes.
Yeah, even in the medieval ages, Shadow is still folding his arms like he's cold. Yes.
I love that Knuckles gets really pissed off here.
Of course, echoing back to the very first time they met in 3.
I like the fact that all the different characters do have their kind of different relationship. Like Knuckles and Sonic in this game just seem to constantly be butting heads. Percival seems to have some kind of respect for Sonic, and Lancelot just hates everyone.
He doesn't give a shit. That's his problem.
He just follows the king, so now the king's dead, he has nothing to do anymore.
I laugh if they landed on them. Whoops, kind of slipped a bit there.
Shit. And it's people.
My sword's bigger than yours.
What do we have? Sword envy? I remember the first time I played this, the line Sonic's about to say, Tom, just instantly made me think of you. It's just how I roll.
I can't tell if you're insulting me or giving me a compliment at this point in time.
I'm giving you a compliment because you always say it, so I was like, yeah, that's what Tom would do.
But that is how I roll.
That's how I roll, motherfucker.
Now, at this point, you can actually play as Percival, Gawain, and Lancelot, but we're not going to be starting that until, on YouTube at least, part 10.
See, and again, that's a smart thing they did in this. You know, they're if you want to, you can play through the entire game of Sonic. They're optional, which is, you know, to me, it seems like Sega were really listening to the fans. They're optional. They don't make you play as them.
You still get the necessary story cutscenes required to get to the final boss, which is obviously Merlina at this point. Not really giving anything away there.
Spoilers.
If you see a review which complains about the other characters in reference to having to complete the game, don't take any notice of it, because you are not required at all to play as anyone other than Sonic all the way through.
Exactly. Good stuff. And like, do you ever, how like, would you rather talk about each different character as we're playing with them?
Pretty much, yeah. But you can ask me some certain trivia now if you want.
Well, I was gonna say, like, do you feel they were as well developed as Sonic himself?
Not really, but then again, you're playing as them. You can only play as them in about 4 certain levels, I believe. Yeah,
essentially, the only levels you can play as the Knights of the Round Table are the levels in the second half of the game. Like, you can't say take Lancelot and do Misty Lake. You can only do the levels that are relevant here.
The Cauldron, Great Megalith, Shrouded Forest, and what's the fourth one?
Dragon's Lair.
That's the one.
So yeah, I like this kind of 2D aspect of it. Obviously, bold for Unleashed.
I didn't really care for the 2D sections, to be honest.
Really? Well, they were very few and far between. I like the fact that they were keeping that theme going.
Now, I can't remember who it was on YouTube, but I specifically remember someone pointing out that when you went up the sticks and whatnot, it actually went in time with the music.
Oh, really? Nice.
If you check it out on Hellfire playthroughs, you will be able to see for yourself.
Is that what, the 5th or 6th reference to that channel you've made, Tom, so far?
I would think 10 billion.
You heard it, you can't unhear it. Shameless plug!
You watched it, you can't unwatch it. Except when you watch it on YouTube when it's actually good quality. Oh snap.
I just love it the first time in Cabinet Castle, that one kind of arrow just breaks down the wall.
That's what you get for making shitty architecture.
Good times.
Indeed.
So at this point in the story, where are we going in Camelot Castle?
We're just doing shit, to be honest.
Fair enough. So like, the world's going to, blow up. We need to get to other places, but first, let's take a little stroll down Camelot Castle.
Hey, Ganondorf's going to kill everything, but I need that heart piece. That's essentially what it is, really. Yeah, I have no idea what happened there. I kind of dropped in on the enemies, and it was kind of like a stalemate for a little bit there, so I panicked and started slashing like a bitch. No, I'm dead serious. You know,
I got confused and started stabbing people.
No, seriously, I had no idea what was happening, so I started flailing like an idiot.
So you started doing waggle, did you, Tom?
I did, and I feel dirty.
You proved IGN right, Tom, you bastard. You proved them right.
The amount of times I tried to get through this level without being hit and then got pipped at the end, it pissed me off.
Absolute bastards.
Well, it was a fun level.
I liked it. I love Camelot Castle.
Right, so let's move on and start off with Percival for the Knights of the Round Table.